How I think of Shakur Stevenson signing with ZUFFA Boxing. And here's the thing. Shakur Stevenson is fighting under ZUFFA Boxing. Now, for those who are confused, y'all might be asking two questions. One is, what is ZUFFA Boxing? And two, what is ZUFFA Boxing? And it's a very new promotion, which, do I like the promotion? We're not going to talk about all that. However, Shakur Stevenson is fighting under Dana White's promotion, UFC president. He's fighting under his boxing promotion called ZUFFA Boxing. The whole idea and the whole selling point is fighters fighting for one single belt. And only one belt matters, which sounds good because, what belt is that, right? Historically, it was like the ring belt. Then it was the WBC, then the WBO, WBA, and the IBF. And then we have 5 different belts in the division. What belt matters? We just saw Jerome Boots Ennis get the WBO and the WBA belt. Is he the champion? There's 2 other champions in his division. Eventually, every fighter is going to go over to ZUFFA. I feel like, especially with Shakur Stevenson. However, they're not really going to be fighting for ZUFFA. They're going to be fighting under the ring card promoted by ZUFFA. And that makes no sense. Because if you're not a Shakur Stevenson, a Conor Ben, you're not fighting on a ring card. You might fight on a ZUFFA card. And maybe through ZUFFA you might get to a Ring Magazine card. But the whole idea of ZUFFA is you start in the ZUFFA boxing circuit, then you go up to the Ring Magazine card. And then you might become a champion or something like that. Overall, I don't understand what this card even does. It just ZUFFA Boxing's whole stake is. ZUFFA Boxing, I feel like, is kind of like Pro Box TV, It's Pro Box TV except it's streamed on Paramount Plus, I just don't understand what it's going to do because they're not going to put Shakur Stevenson in the UFC Apex for a ZUFFA card. He's not going to compete in that. I just don't believe it. And I don't think he should. I don't think that's a good deal either. And the second thing I want to talk about is this sudden urge to talk about Devin Haney. Devin Haney and Bill Haney, mostly Bill Haney because he's the promoter, calls out Ryan Garcia, Keyshawn Davis. Not really Keyshawn Davis because he was at 140. Devin Haney was calling out Ryan Garcia, Shakur, Gervonta Davis, Brian Norman, Rolly Romero, everybody who was at 147 essentially. And then Keyshawn Davis comes out of nowhere and says, well, I'll fight you. Bill Haney's like, you don't even have your pro card at 147. Keyshawn Davis gets his pro card at 147, becomes the mandatory for Devin Haney. Now Devin Haney is 3 days away from losing his title? Yeah, that sounds about right. But during these 20 days, Devin Haney was trying to get a fight with Shakur Stevenson, or before the 20 days. And Shakur Stevenson's like, you're really big. Just fight Keyshawn, It's like, I personally think Keyshawn has a really good shot against Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney would win, but I think he has a really good shot. But what's a bigger fight? Keyshawn Davis is not even half as big as Shakur and Devin Haney in the boxing world. Maybe for newer fans, people who like to watch kick streams, Keyshawn Davis might be more popular than Shakur Stevenson. I don't know. I don't watch those streams like that. The whole thing I'm trying to say is the whole situation with Shakur, Keyshawn, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben, Gervonta Davis somehow in the mix of these. It's such a weird mix, and I don't really know how I feel about it because, what is this going to do? Because Shakur Stevenson got this deal and now he's calling out Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. Why is he calling out these people now, all of a sudden? Of course he wasn't like, oh, I don't want to fight Devin Haney, but he was kind of like, we can fight at 144. And he wasn't doing this with Conor Ben or Ryan Garcia. He did it with Ryan Garcia after his Mario Barrios fight, kinda. But it was definitely noticeable he was really trying to do a 144 fight with Devin Haney, and he wasn't going to go up to 147. It was very apparent. And I find that to be a little weird because Devin Haney is probably going to hurt him the least out of all of those fighters, if he's able to hit him, that is. Ryan Garcia, I would be more worried to fight Ryan Garcia than Devin Haney. Me personally. But, what do I know? I'm not 4 division champions. I can't really say that now, can I? But yeah, I just think it's a very interesting ordeal, and I think that this ultimately means that Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis might join Zuffa as well, because why is Shakur trying to push for a fight after going to a completely different company? I mean, Devin Haney is with Turkey Sheik. Turkey Sheik partially owns Zuffa and DAZN, and and DAZN is streaming everything on DAZN, only on DAZN, home of boxing, and that's true. However, I just think that you're gonna see a lot of stuff in August. You're gonna see a lot of stuff in August, September. You're gonna see a lot of breaking news happening. I mean, you have the Teofimo Lopez, Rolly Romero fight in August, and then we have the one and the only, WBC world title fight. Somehow Conor Benn got a title shot against Ryan Garcia. Can't wait to see that fight, honestly. It's a lot closer than some people think, but let me know what y'all think about Shakur Stevenson and this whole Zuffa thing. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. I gotta go to sleep.